Hi ladies, I thought I would do a video for you guys. I had a request for a video from a few people to do a what was in my hospital bag video. And well, it's been a while, obviously since his birth, and if I can remember correctly, I will go through everything and describe things that I needed, things that I liked, things that I enjoyed, things that I didn't need that I ended up packing. So I have been really into essential oils lately. And my favorite is Serenity, and it's by doTERRA. I do not, I mean, there's this new company out. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's like Amio or Amio. And I've had samples of their stuff because, I mean, like, they just launched a few days ago, I think. And I had samples of their stuff, and my completely unbiased opinion, because I don't sell, all I do is buy, Amio is much better. Sorry, doTERRA ladies, but it's a lot more potent, like strong. I've tried doTERRA lavender and I've tried Amio lavender, and it's like it's a world of difference, especially in a diffuser. It's like it's hard to explain. So you just have to try it for yourself. I mean, you may like doTERRA better, but I think, you know, it's just, yeah, their oils seem to last a lot longer. So like when I put them on my Pressure Points Amio Lavender, and I've used some on Samuel, I'm like 5 hours later I can still smell it. And as much as I love doTERRA, the smell is normally gone in 30 minutes to an hour. So I like it. And so Omia, or Amio is the name. However, for my hospital bag, I had Serenity because still to this day it's my favorite. I wish that there was the Serenity blend in the Omio, that Omio did it, because I know that it would last like 5 times longer. And I go through the Serenity oil super fast because I'm addicted to it and I love it, but it doesn't last that long. It really doesn't. So I try to put it in my diffuser as much as possible. So I did bring my diffuser. It's an essential oil diffuser. I got mine for $29.99 on Amazon. I think it's the Green Air, or whatever. It's just a regular essential oil diffuser. So I had that. I had lavender and Serenity oils. I had I had packed diapers and wipes, and you don't really need to because the hospital provides all of them. And not only that, but they give you the rest of the pack and the whole rest of the leftovers of the wipes and the diapers, because once you open them, they can't give them to somebody else. So I think we had like almost a week's worth of diapers we brought home from the hospital. So don't worry about packing that. I'm so glad I packed a pacifier. And, whether you believe in pacifiers or not, that's fine. It's, I'm not debating any of that, but I'm so glad I packed mine because my milk didn't come in. A first time mom, it really didn't come in until like 5 or 6 days after he was born. And yes, all they need is the colostrum, whatever. I'm not getting into that either. But the day after he was born, when all of a sudden he wasn't as tired as he was when he first came out, and all he did was sleep, all he wanted to do was eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And there was a few times where he had spent an hour on each boob, so he was getting the colostrum and everything, but my nipples needed a damn rest. Like, they were becoming raw really bad. So there were times I had to give him the pacifier, and it saved my boobs and it allowed him to comfort himself. So I packed pacifiers. I am really glad I packed receiving blankets. My mom made me receiving blankets. And yes, you get like the one or two or whatever that you get when they're born, but that's it. And they're not going to really wash them for you. Especially if you're doing a vaginal birth and you're only there 2 or 3 days, they don't I mean, they didn't have a whole big pile stack of clean ones that I could use. So I'm glad I packed those. Something I wish I would have packed. Okay, so I did pack a pair of like my long, two with the knee nightgown pajamas. But those were a pain because when you're hooked up to IVs, they have to run it through the thing, and I couldn't really pull my breast out for him. As much as it was nice to have the nightgowns from home that were comfortable, they weren't practical. So I am next time, but I would suggest that you invest in those $40 maternity nightgowns that are specifically, they're called like, not the hospital gowns that the hospital gives you, but you can go on Etsy and you can go on a few places and you can actually buy them where they have the snaps that pull down so that you can breastfeed. They actually have the snaps on the side so that the IV can run through. I mean, those are amazing. Like, and I didn't buy one because I was like, I don't have the $50 or the $40. But the whole entire time I was going through labor and after labor, I was just irritated because my nightgowns were in the way. And yeah, they were annoying. So I definitely recommend just do it. Invest in it. And the resale value on those. Yeah, you could turn around and resell it for, $5 or $10 off what you bought it for, and somebody will buy it. So there's that, that I wish I would have had. I did pack, a pair of clothes, nice clothes, to go home in. I was blessed enough that I went home in the clothes that I had before I was pregnant. So my pre-pregnancy clothes. But I would just suggest stretch pants, yoga pants or whatever, so that you're not in any sort of jean or anything like that when you go home. What else that's different? I packed things to entertain myself. Like I had my iPad and my charger. I had a few outfits for Samuel. I had like PJs, sleep sacks. Those were nice. And I did have a few outfits for him. The thing with it is they don't provide those. They don't provide you outfits and onesies and socks and things like that. So bring everything that you want. If you want pajamas for your baby, or if you only want onesies for your baby, or you want to bring socks or mittens. Thank God I brought mittens. That is one thing. Because when they come out, of course their fingernails are soft, but they harden really, really fast. And they're really long. I'm surprised how long they are. But they're really long. And my son, I don't know about all other babies, but whenever he was frustrated or whenever he would cry or whatever, he would just do this with both hands. And I swear oh my gosh, it was like Freddy Krueger had at his face. And so I quickly realized after he had torn his face up that I'm like, oh, I have mittens in the bag. So I put mittens on, and he is still a mitten kid. I tried cutting his nails one time, and unfortunately I didn't realize it, but I didn't actually clip his skin. What had happened was his nail bed had gone past the nail. So here I am thinking, oh, this is his nail. It's really, really long. It's actually his nail bed that had grown out past the nail. And when I clipped it, it started to bleed. He started to cry. And I'm like, no, I'm done. Mommy's done. We're not doing this. I cried so hard that I hurt him. And so I just put the mittens back on. And Daddy tried clipping his nails a little bit. I think it was like a few days ago. So in the 2 months he's been out of the womb, we've clipped his nails maybe twice. We're just too nervous with it, and if I really want to do it, I can use an emery board, a nail file, but it's like, I just throw the mitts on, and it's like, it's great. I don't have to worry about him scratching his face, and he also doesn't suck his thumb. So anyone that's going through the thumb sucking that you want to break the habit, a 1, 2, 3-year-old, they make mittens those size. You stick those things on, and you know, they may pull them off at that age. I don't know, but he tries to suck his, you know, it's like he's, when he doesn't have his pacifier and he's looking for something to suck, he can't suck his thumb. I don't want a thumb sucker. I refuse to have a thumb sucker. However, he can have the passy because I control the passy. I give him the passy when I want to give him the passy. He has to fuss it out if I choose not to give him the passy. And I'd rather have a passy kid than a thumb sucking kid. So that's just my personal preference. But mittens anyways, for them coming out and them having the long nails and them scratching themselves. That's a great thing to have. And Carmex. I swear by that stuff. Just put the Carmex in your bag. It's good for your chapped lips. It's good for, you know, little sores that you might have. And it is good for his bottom. Those first Merconium poops that are so acidic, that kind of cake to their butt, you put some Carmex on there and, like, coat his butt in the Carmex. I swear to God to you, it's a waterproof layer. Or waterproof barrier. And you'll just be able to wipe that Merconium off. It's not going to stick to him. It's not going to give him diaper rash, because that's where our first diaper rash came from, was those Merconium poops. And once I discovered Carmex, he has never had a rash since, because it just keeps a waterproof layer on his butt. So none of the pee, none of the poop, nothing sticks to it. So highly recommend that. So those are the things that were in my hospital bag. Some of the things that they gave me, the hospital gave me, I don't know that your hospital will, gave me for post-op recovery were Dermoblast. Oh my Lord, that stuff. I bought a additional can. So I got a can and they gave me a can to take home. When I ran out, I went and got another can, and I will always have a can in my house. It is the stuff that you spray down there if you get a tear, if you're sore. It works for sunburn, so it's not just for that. So you can use it for sunburn, you can use it for rashes, and you can get it at Walgreens, CVS. It's called Dermoblast. And it's in like looks like a little spray paint can, and that stuff is amazing. I didn't tear, thank God. You'll never see my birth video, but in my birth video, and I watched it, I swear to God to you, I believe the reason why I didn't tear, because I pushed him out fairly fast, was my OB massaged me the whole entire time I was pushing. Not just once or twice. The entire time I was pushing. She was massaging me, she would put oil on me, and she was just working all of that for me, kind of shaping the area around his head. So I had not one tear. They call it a skid mark, and it's essentially just where I had like a very tiny, like almost like a fissure. And that Dermoblast, oh, it's so great, so great. So I recommend that. And if you don't know if your hospital will provide it, buy it, put it in the suitcase. So, or the bag, whatever. So those are the things that I packed and swear by. So I hope this is helpful for those that are thinking about a hospital bag. Don't bring your breast pump. You don't need it. I brought mine. I put it in the trunk. You don't need it. Unless you're having a massively premature baby and you know you're having a premature baby, sure, bring it. But that is going to end my video. My son is awake, so I need to go, but I hope that helps.